the blast resistance. Sometimes you design a facade, any projection or a recessed location, the frequency will be very high, blast frequency. Maybe if 100 kg TNT or 200 kg TNT, what distance is blast and what is the frequency get, maybe 2000 within fraction of seconds. The blast happened within a second. Within the fraction of seconds, you will get a multi-frequencies.
Right.
First blast, the glass shatter. Next, within a half second or 1 second, second frequency goes. Maybe the first, if we take 200 kg TNT, it will get about 2500 millipascals. Is a very high frequency. So when doing so, the third frequency automatically the glass fall down. Sometimes system may fail. Even you put a highly stainless steel system reinforced or cabling inside to withstand such a frequencies, the glass must have a effective cover. Second cover or the edge cover means effective cover means the edge covers has to address the multi frequencies. If the facades are stepped out or stepped in or recessed or any canopies. So normally the CTM consultants, to minimize the expenses on facade, they try to keep the stand-up distances, either 6 meter or 10 meter, or what kind of load. A backpack guy can carry suicide blast guys can carry a maximum of 25 kg TNT in his backpack,
Okay.
or 50 kg or 100 kg in a car, or you can take 200 kg in a small pickup.
I have a small note here as Selvam. Question, ma'am, who's going to do that? Who do you prefer to do that? Okay.
That means one more delay on the project.
Okay.
No, it is.
Practically.
It means more palms to be greased, one more delay in the project. Ananya, the better way to go about it is, I think almost you as a client and almost all customers ask for this certificate. And it's part of our professional indemnity insurance policy as well, to give you a system which is safe and sound. So when we appoint a structural glazing consultant, it's part of their work order that they need to indemnify us from any, because the more approvals, the more you need to satisfy yourself with the consultant's report.
What I'm saying, Ravi, is that because of this certification and because of certain issues which a lot of structural engineers have faced over time, they are very cautious and they follow the IS codes thoroughly. The followance of the codal requirement for structural facades is not so much there in India as yet. And that would be only if it becomes as part of an approval policy.
No,
So
here I would like to say something on that is whenever there is a facade which is being called for and a facade consultant, an architect has conceptualized it, then there is a full structural performance which is mentioned as per the requirement, as per the zone in the area which, the reason which this hotel is built. And most of the buildings and most of the brands now, it's mandatory to have a performance testing before the facade goes onto the building. So the structural stability of the facade is being tested at the lab prior to the facade going onto the building, which takes care 90%. Yes, you are correct in that form that if somebody can certify it, it is already certified, and as a fabrication or engineering company or a consultant, it's a complete responsibility is there. So it's not that it's not structurally tested or it's just put on the building. I don't think that's the case.
So we are safer off in hotels than commercial buildings. Eh?
All the buildings,
I would beg
Yeah.
to differ
Right.
because I think the biggest weak link in this whole thing is the execution at site. You might be having the best architects at that point of time, unfortunately wouldn't be there. You know, only the facade consultant and structural consultant might be called, or whoever is certifying the system would be there in the end. And that responsibility that the structural system has been executed as it has been designed for becomes very weak towards the end, you know. So if it would be mandatory, for example, if the Environment Ministry is so stringent now, so everybody will go in for,
Correct.
you know, STP, and they are just following it. But if for facades it would be there, I think people would just by default look into it.
Kamlesh, a question, cheesy question though. It's more pleasure to work for a hotel project and then for one of these commercial projects?
no, if you
Pleasure
ask
comes also from money,
if you
but,
ask
keep that aside.
No, if you ask an aluminum company, you know, the category goes is who spends the most.
Right, right.
And in that case, yes,
Hotels.
hotels do come first.
That's my
So
question.
preferably,
Pleasure.
that is always the first choice if the hotels are there.
So should
But,
there be only hotels?
Let's not neglect the residential part of it as well. So now, so you are doing a lot of residential projects as well, and the lines between the windows and facades are blurring. Windows are now continuous into the facades, like your world one. We have facade which is continuing
Isha,
into the
I
window.
want to
Yes, sir.
clarify what the debate is going on. See, first of all, the facade is a non-load bearing element.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Facade is a non-load bearing element, first of all. As Kamlesh rightly said, it should be performance test to be 1-to-1 scale, 2-floor high or 3-panel wide or corner conditions. Globally, for the test according to the stringent test like ASTM or even seismic test, other tests, even proof test, serviceability test, all the testing over 1.5 times of the design wind pressure. But another important point, what Madam says, is the workmanship and the execution of the work. Also, there is a big gap in justifying the. There are difference of opinion in concluding the glass thicknesses in many aspects. We face with many of the clients what they call the protocol called the value engineering exercise. In terms of performance, the glass must be designed in the hotel industries for the safety. You know, all hotel specification call for inner light to be laminated as a safety glass. Second thing is acoustics, and they want very big glass to vision outside between column to column, like 8. So this is the challenges to design the glass thickness and do a analysis. Even we do non-linear and linear analysis to optimize the thicknesses. Also, there's another. So we limit the deflection. So their safety is addressed, line load, impact load, or you just falling onto the glass. Right. There's a line load address, safety point of view. Second thing, you open the door when you come from, you're entering the room. When you press the room, open the door, you feel the glass is vibrating. Because the internal coefficient is built up because air conditioning is running inside the rooms. So
you're taking care of all these aspects while you're designing these
Yes,
hotel projects.
yes.
So that's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a positive
Whatever project we addressed, we are addressing all this into mind and we putting up.
Mahesh sir, I'm going to switch over to the subject for facades for residences. We have a little bit time. Question to Mr. Vivek. You're doing a lot of residences and you're integrating facades. Well, Kamlesh, I'd like to add that video that we saw from your company, I would request Ravi sir, Patki sir to actually design a project which can have those kind of elements.
Windows
as
like
well.
that, correct.
We have a supplier, only thing we need to have somebody to design it.
For those who haven't seen that video, it's a flushed window with on the face of it, which comes out as a balcony, and then. So, I don't know if it exists or just a prototype or a vision or.
You didn't see the slide. It was 2020.
Yeah, okay. So you start designing now, it'll only come up in the next 3 to 4 years.
Since the question is about residential facades, and we are doing some of the most luxurious and tallest residential buildings in Mumbai, going beyond
So could you keep-
300 meters and all. The residential facades are much different than the hospitality or the commercial building facades. Because of the user pattern changes from the kids to the housewives to the senior people staying in the house, parents staying in the house, and even to the maids. So, I mean, all these people, they are going to touch the facade and they are going to operate, they are going to open up. It's not that 24 hours anybody is going to keep the air conditioning on in the house. So, residential facade, one is the internal facade and second becomes the outer facade, which is the balconies, because people want to sit in, we are in the tropical country, people like to sit in the balconies, they want to, enjoy probably a kind of a morning breakfast in the balcony, or maybe the evening wine session in the balcony. So it should not happen that the wind blows and probably your wine glasses or maybe the plates start flying. So the residential facades are very different and very difficult when it comes to the facade design, because there are two layers of the facade. One is the internal facades, where probably we can do the lift and slide kind of windows, and external facade where you have got your balconies which are having the railings and all. And now since the glass railings trend is there, the difficulties are, or the challenges are even more So what someone needs to understand is how do we tackle the residential facade in a different way than the commercial facade. So that's how it is.
So would you think that the way forward is more system, windows and facades, or as we have today, largely the privately done systems?
No, I'll tell you, when we are talking about residence, the apartment owner or the residence owner, he wants to build his personality into his residence, and that personality gets built with the kind of spaces like balcony spaces which are next to the living room or the dining areas or maybe to the bedrooms. So these are the areas where probably he tries to build his personality with having his kind of a garden which is different, or maybe kind of a furniture arrangement which is different. You go to the commercial offices and all, it's just a kind of an office layout with the enclosed curtain wall system, maybe some openable panels.
Sorry, somebody's. Yeah, thank you. I take the last couple of points because we have to now self-destruct. I talked to Prashant Reddy. Now you were showing in your slides earlier, you've done lots of projects where your product is an alternative facade material. So is there a demand, more of your projects have been hotels or residences?
I would say both, but yes, predominantly largely from the residential sector. 80% of our business comes from residential sector, but in the last 12 to 18 months, we see it picking up on the non-residential sector as well, starting with corporates, hospitality and so on. We have done, yes, few iconic hotel projects too. But in residential, we have larger applications, starting as simple as just a gate application or just a pergola or a soffit, balcony cladding. We have many application possibilities on the residential sector compared to the hospitality sector.
So it's a growing area.
It is a growing area, but the volumes would come only when the other sectors open up. Price-wise or commercially, the residential sectors are far more receptive. We are more successful on the individual housing rather than the group housing so far. But even in group housing, we have been well received on those highlighting areas like clubhouses, decking areas.
So specific areas.
Yes, very specific areas. But we see, we have been, the last few interest which we have been receiving is, it's moving to the other sector as well. The markets are opening up to accept this kind of premium materials too, which was not the case few years back. So we see it from a very positive side.
Okay, wonderful. Isha?
Just for last 5 to 10 minutes of the discussions, I would like to ask all of you together for the hotels and the residential segment, what are the measures that each of you on an individual level, being an architect, being a consultant, being an executionist, how can you stick to the quality, like residential segment falls short of the quality guidelines. There is nothing that can guide you on the quality, on the standards. So how can you as your own experts in your own segments, how can you ensure that a quality is achieved in a particular facade project? Kamlesh sir.
I think most of the projects nowadays, they are again dependent on region wise, and if you take example of cities, metro cities and tall buildings or probably buildings which are modern buildings, they are nowadays mostly driven by the specifications. They have been well taken care of, and once those things, if they are not cut short during the process of so-called value engineering, I think we are able to achieve that to the specification. And there have been examples of buildings which are executed to that level, and good examples could be Antilia, you can see as a premium building and designed and executed, Capital, World One going on. So there are lots of examples. India, I think facade is nothing less than anywhere else in the other part of the world now. So a proper specification, a proper site execution, continuous monitoring, more factory oriented things. I think that is what is the key. A lot of tests includes, for example, people, even for railings, there are so many tests which needs to be done. Nowadays, the glass railings is a trend, but there's a lot of things which is not only a laminated glass just put onto the edge of the building, but you need to do a lot of tests prior to putting that glass onto the
So
building.
we are progressing.
Yeah. So
maybe not
I
that
think,
fast, but progressing.
yes, okay, but now the world is very small and things are happening. We are seeing that and they have been executed now in a lot of tests. You know, in a performance earlier, we used to have one test on the building. Nowadays, you have a lot of tests, at least 5 tests, 6 tests on a building on different elements, and then takes care of fine tuning if needs to be done, even in the design, which is in theory and to the practical requirements. Because all these facades, they behave differently when it goes to the performance. So you're not sure. On theory, it looks something, and on execution, it's something different. So you really need to have a proper system in place, and that takes care of everything. That's what I believe.
Ravi sir?
I think we're getting some broad hints out here.
Yeah.
Right. So the first thing is, as the author of the design, as an architect, and you asked this question as what would I do?
Yes.
I think I'll get back to the basics, especially for residential projects, to evolve a design which ensures sensitivity towards climate, sensitivity towards the context, and it's unfortunate to see that habitable rooms are not getting cross-ventilated. We give windows on only one side of the room, and then you have toilets placed in the corner, and we as architects should convince the developers that, look, you need to get back to the fundamentals of architecture, where the solution needs to be contextual, then think about the facade aspect of it. So it's the basic plan. As an architect, I think I'll go back to what was taught in our institutions, and convince the developers that we shouldn't be blindly aping the West.
Are you able to convince them?
I think we are.
Yeah, good.
I think that there is a movement towards understanding the
So you're not
fundamentals
just a
of
drawing architect, you're actually
You have
giving
to.
them
You
value.
have to.
No disrespect, but
So you have to, for instance, the earlier days, the developer used to say, don't give another window, another wall for a bedroom because it is expensive.
correct.
Right? And it was always needed for cross ventilation. Or somebody talked about balconies. I mean, these are bare necessities of, and that's where I think the authorities should come in and say, why